Okay, so we are live on YouTube, and slowly we'll be sharing the links to our LinkedIn page as well. Thank you so much for joining in on a Friday morning here in Saudi Arabia and a Friday afternoon there in India and Mauritius as well. Thank you so much for joining in for all the LinkedIn community members. Uh, Good morning to you, for all our listeners, for all our followers. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining in for yet another NLG Talks episode. Today morning, we are going to speak with some of the leaders, some of the experts in this particular segment. So we have a wonderful topic to discuss today. Leadership Skills 4.0, Strategic Leadership for Senior Executive in the Artificial Intelligence Era. So much important. It's a hot topic to discuss on, and it's a great topic to discuss on because the updates what we are getting around the world, it's like minute by minute new developments are happening around the world in the AI field, in the AI domain. And as senior leaders, we need to get familiar with what is happening around the world. When we are presenting something in the boardroom, in the C-suite level, we need to understand, we need to implement, and we need to drive forward. That is, I think, the one of the way to be resilient in this challenging and competitive environment which we are facing around the world. So before going to the questions and before going to the discussions, let me introduce myself. My name is Jason Abraham. I'm the host of this show today. Let me also introduce the guest today. I'll start with Nabil and then move on to Kunal and then Richie. Nabil, over to you.
Thank you, Jason. Good morning, everyone. I'm Nabil Bankarali, basically from Mauritius. So I have around 10 years of experience in the field of global talent acquisition. Currently based here on the Mauritian island, I've got the opportunity to work for different continents. And today it's with pleasure that I accept the invitation of Abraham to share my knowledge about leadership talks, but specifically about AI in today's world. Thank you, Jason. Over to you.
Thank you. Kunal, please go introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi Jason. Hi, thank you so much for the warm invitation. And I'm Captain Kunal Unial. I'm Master Mariner with almost 20 years of experience, both onshore and offshore. I've sailed across various kind of ships, which include oil tankers, chemical tankers, bulk carriers, block carriers, and people call me Captain Jack Sparrow, traveling across the globe. So it was in 2016. I quit sailing. I went to London. I did maritime law. I'm a maritime lawyer. My specialization is in commercial and trade law. Working Baltic Exchange for quite some time in London. And then after that, I decided enough is enough. I wanted to have something of my own, and that too back in India. So I came back to India, started my own college. So I'm the founder of India's one and only college dedicated to commercial operations, which goes by the name of International Maritime Business Academy. That's my college. And in 2023, we took a leap and we started integrated maritime exchange. Another very bold venture, which has put us into an AI domain. And now we are building world's first, India's largest maritime exchange dedicated to commercial operations. It's all AI-enabled operations, whereby AI will actually regulate all the operations in the world as well as control the rates and freight markets as well. So that's what I'm doing. I'm the co-founder along with my co-founder Vikas. Over to you guys.
Thank you, Kunal. Thank you so much. It's amazing to learn that AI is also transforming the maritime industry as well. Yeah. So over to you, Richie. Please, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity here. I come within 7+ years of experience into a diverse field. Recently got into a new industry, hospitality, and working with AI since past 2.5 years, generative AI, coming from the background of BTech plus MBA. So yes, I understand technology, but yes, when picking up a job, I hate coding. So I prefer to be on the management side and have spent a lot of experience into solutioning and understanding the real business problem statement and coming up with an outcome-based solution. And yes, seeing the entire journey of generative AI, like how it's becoming day by day smart and how it's helping us, how we can collab and make it more smarter. So yes, that's all about me, and thank you. Yeah, over to you.
Thank you so much, Ruchi. Thank you, panelists. It's a great honor to have you in this particular discussion because I always feel that for boards and leadership teams, these questions aren't hypothetical; they are urgent. The need of the hour, the AI intelligence, the AI education. So today, more than ever, investing in the right leadership capabilities, it could be the difference between thriving in the AI era and being left behind. I think that's very important to understand. So I was reading in a post from HBR, the Harvard Business Review. They mentioned that AI first leadership leaders must reimagine how humans and AI collaborate to harness AI's potential and bridge the gap between the technological capabilities and strategic goals. And here, the role of a middle level leader or a middle level manager is so much important. The C-suite level board of directors is so much important. The education is so much important. So let me start with the first initial question to Richie. As AI takes over data-driven decisions, what should senior leaders focus on to remain strategically relevant?
Sure. So, talking about the fact, it's been 8 months into hospitality industry, and I myself am working closely with the management, also the board of directors of the hospitality, and influencing them that how we can leverage on them, not to replace people, but to enable people. So, and as a senior leadership team, we must focus on the direction, not the data, because data is everywhere till the time we got exposed to the internet, then now the era of insights, right? AI can optimize the decision, but the thing is that leadership responsibility lies on the intent, the trade-off, and long-term consequences. So our relevance comes from the framing the right question and owning the outcome. So yes, I may be influencing a lot of things, but as a leadership team, we must have the clarity. So the point to focus on here is the direction over the dashboard. Second thing I would like to mention that context over the conclusion. Okay, that what are we trying to achieve by reading the data, right? And what is the outcome that we are looking? And also, the third point, we need to be very much cautious before making any kind of leadership decision is that the long-term values versus the short-term optimization, right? So these are the three pointers that I highly value and also believe that will make a lot of differentiation on the strategical part of the leadership team.
Amazing. Kunal, would you like to add something here?
Okay, I'll be a little candid. Being a captain, I always speak my heart out, and I don't sugarcoat anything. Well, let's first understand AI. What AI is? Artificial intelligence, right? People are going gaga over AI, but who built AI? We are the humans who are building it, right? And we are building it every day. I belong to an industry which has been untouched by digitalization till now. I belong to an industry which is 50 years behind whatever is happening in the world. You talk about hospitality, you talk about marketing, you talk about movie world, you talk about entertainment, everything. Everything has adapted to AI, everything has adapted to digitalization long time back. Shipping industry is something which has been untouched by it. So that was the reason we decided that the transformation is needed. However, now the challenge was that how very well the leaders in shipping can take it. The only problem with shipping is that it is being driven by the family houses and people who are actually going by generation to generation. Most of the Greeks are the ones who are owning these shipping businesses, and they will never ever adapt to AI. Why? Because they believe, they have the thinking, they have the thought process that AI will take the job, which is not going to happen. If this would have been the case, the transformation from the wooden ship to the nuclear powered vessel, it has taken 1,000 years. How many people have lost their job? Nobody. 50 years back, when the Industrial Revolution came into picture, and people thought that the machines will take their life, machines will actually, they will lose their job to machines. What happened? Do we see people on street? Do we see people die? No, they were adopted. So it is all about being a leader, being somebody who can actually lead by example, having an attitude of bringing all of them together at one single place and treating AI as a colleague rather than as a competitor. Treating it as a colleague help let it help you out with decision making abilities and all. But in the end, if you are the true leader, you are the one who are actually in command. You are the one who are actually driving the force. You are actually the one who is actually taking the vessel from one place to another. You will be the one who will be telling an AI that this is my decision. You can guide me, you can tell me, you can give me a good interpretation about the data, but in the end, it is the captain who is in command of the vessel, not an AI. Over to you guys.
Totally echoing with the thought process because it's more often collaboration between the human intelligence and the machine intelligence. Like, we should complement each other instead of resisting it for adoption. And to be honest, I wherever I get a chance of sharing my ideas, this is the only message that I try to convey. And even the board of directors to everyone, the investors to everyone, it's not something which is gonna take over our job because the
Right.
intelligence is all about the collaborations, right? And strategy is no longer about a better reports, right? It's about better judgment. Like I mentioned that, outcome, that what are we trying to achieve, right? If we have the clarity and the the understand the intent that we are trying to achieve, then it is doable. Yes, over to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nabil, would you like to add something here?
Absolutely. Thank you, Jason. I absolutely agree with my dear colleagues, Kunal and Richie here, because being in the management committee on my end in Mauritius and being in the field of global talent acquisition, this field itself, human resource, it's often said that, okay, it is true that maybe in the field of finance, accounting, marketing, AI will be replacing jobs, but not necessarily in human resource. True, because for example, to do, for example, the interviews of people, all right, we can have an application, people can be an application or AI can be asking questions to candidates and people will answer. But to assess emotions, this is something that we need a person itself to do it. So what I'm trying to explain here is that where I currently work, I work for a tech company whereby every day I meet software developers, system administrators. We are currently digitalizing. We are currently improving the processes of our clients. Fair, it's nice. We are improving our processes on a technological perspective. But before coming to that, we are trusting AI technology to improve our processes, and this is the way to go. This is the future. But one point that I would like to put on the table here, what I would suggest senior leaders is not to trust it blindly. Let me give you an example. Very often we talk about, okay, nowadays we don't need, let's say, a front-end developer, software developers to create a website. It can be done within a second by an AI tool. It is true, but when it is done, when it has an example has been done in front of me, by just letting this AI tool doing it, very often there are mistakes. There are errors that crop up naturally within the application itself. So my advice is, true senior leaders, we should embrace AI technology in order to improve our processes, but it has to be done with cautious. There should always be people behind it to control what we are really expecting in terms of delivery. This is what has been highlighted by Richie a couple of minutes ago. It is what we want exactly as the delivery. But with that, I would say it is true. AI, we definitely need it for the future in order to increase our performance, improve the timing of our delivery. But people should always be there to ensure the content delivery. Over to you, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, we all agree. We all agree on that. Yes, Richie, you want to say
Yeah.
something? Yeah.
Or, closing, I can go on and on talking about AI because seeing it very closely and coming from the engineering background, and it excites me because like now people talk about AI, but AI is nothing new. Okay, the generative AI came to the picture in 2023, right? And it's an old technology which just got in, generating more and got popular to the people, right?
Mm.
So it's, artificial intelligence, machine learning, like all this are there since ages, right? But now what
Right.
happening? Um, it started giving the ease of the user without knowing the back end thing. So they started generating outputs, and that's where the people got excited about AI, right? It
Mm.
increases but the thing is that, like, according to me, the accountability still lies with the leadership team. Okay, the way technology is accessing, or like it's rapidly developing every day. The pace at which it is going, okay, the thing is that human is trying to compete, right? But
Mm.
we make our decision based out of our lot of experience, situation, and the things that we had gone through in our life. Based on that we make decisions, right? But when
Mm.
it comes where the emotion stability is there, right? And with AI coming into the picture, though change is the only constant, that is the truth. But AI coming into the picture, now people started feeling the change because of the
Right.
fast pace, the industry is getting into. So if anything, it increases the need of seniorship, senior leadership,
Mm.
because accountability does not scale the way technology is scaling.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
When Kunal was referring to the maritime industry, it is so amazing to see that orthodox industries like where AI never touched is being also touched by AI, and those industries are also being transformed by AI. And also, we all agree on one part that people mindset and we are required. I mean, humans are required to guide AI, and we are. This is AI is like an enabling part. It's like an enabler. So we all agree on that. Human effort is 100% required. Only thing is that AI can give us the tools and requirements and all those data which can be pulled from maybe 20 years back and given to us, or maybe can predict and forecast. So AI can be always helpful, which leads me to the next question to Kunal. In the next 3 to 5 years, transformation is humongous. It's like every minute by minute transformation is going on. Which leadership skills you think that will define successful executives in the next 3 to 5 years in the context of AI?
Okay. Prior to answering to your question, I'll share one incident with you. What
Okay.
happened with me was that my ship was sailing and we were crossing Pacific Ocean. So we were connected to company through satellite communications, LX and all, and I used to regularly I was guided by them. And the weather routing services was there, and they were guiding me that you need to take this route, you need to take this passage with kind of data they had for last 30, 40 years. They assembled that data. They she asked me to change my route, alter my route, and follow the different path. However, my gut feeling as a captain said no, that is wrong. So I went against that. I was like, okay, you can tell me, you can guide me, you can help me out, but in the end, the decision is mine. And it gave results because the typhoon changed its pattern, its route, and ultimately the passage that they were recommending, it started following that. So the idea is very, very simple. First of all, you are the ones who are in the driving force. You are the ones who are actually in the driving seat, and you are the ones who will be commanding it. Secondly, in coming years, if you if I talk from my perspective, shipping industry, I'll again come back to maritime industry. It's very easy to implement AI in all the other industries because you have sufficient data. Along with that, you have got synchronized data. It's well organized. Shipping is the only industry where you do not have anything organized. It is the most unorganized sector. I'll give you a little example. We are building a software, a tool to calculate lay time for the vessels, like how much time a ship takes in the port, what is the turnaround time for the ship, how much cargo it loads and discharges, and what is the amount of money it utilizes and all. We are the first one in the world who's building it, but it has taken us 1.5 years, and till now the AI is unable to give us an answer. Why? Because it's GIGO, garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you'll feed in, that is what you'll be getting it out. So no matter how much amount of AI is utilized, we are still unable to crack the code because it has never been done so far. And no matter how much machine learning we apply, and no matter how much data we give it, you'll always find something new coming up. So we are still fighting that thing. We are having more and more developers. So what happened in the end? Instead of one AI, we are using 4 developers now. We have assigned separate jobs, and now they are working in the different scenarios. Best part is that they're utilizing AI to help them out. But in the end, it's human prompts who will actually guide AI. You need to, as a futuristic leader, as somebody who is actually looking for in under 2 to 3 years, you need to broaden your vision. You need to have a bird eye view. You need to look at things from a broader angle to see actually how it works. Secondly, do not forget the human element. It's very, very important. No matter how much machine learning you apply, no matter how much Gemini you apply, GPT you apply, no matter how much neural mechanics you apply, in the end, human element is something which will keep you intact. And that is what will help you build up your career and decide the future of the company. As an owner of a company, because it is in my hand to decide whether I want to take Gemini anti-gravity and remove the developers, or utilize 5 developers and remove anti-gravity. Anti-gravity can be used, but it is just giving me the wireframe for something which is a human element. If I feed some information, then only it will be able to build that. If I will not have humans, if I will not have somebody to actually bang their head, how will something new come up? So the idea is that you need to broaden your vision, think beyond what is going on, apply new technology. That's perfectly fine, but do not forget the emotions and the human side of it, because that is what will actually help your company grow, rather than actually relying totally on it. What do you guys?
Absolutely. Human element is so important. Broaden your vision and apply new technologies. 3 major skills in context of leadership. But Nabil, would you like to add something?
Sure. Once again, I would like to, I completely agree with my colleague Kunal. So for me, it's a subject that I've been discussing on for the last 12 to 15 months now. For me, one of the main leadership skills that I believe senior leaders would require, or even anybody, be it can be someone who just joined the company, or even someone who's been there for the past 10 to 20 years. Firstly, it is all about adaptive learning and unlearning. What do I really mean here? Is that nowadays markets, technology, or even customer expectations will keep evolving. Not only evolving, but evolving at a very fast rate. For example, what has worked last year, trust me, will be definitely outdated by next year. So we have leaders and we have successful leaders. Successful leaders will be those who learn how to, who will be able to adapt quickly, learn quickly, and unlearn assumptions that no longer apply. And for that, leaders or senior leaders, they have to assume it. They have to be willing to unlearn in order to learn more. Secondly, it's all about apologies, system thinking. What do I really mean by that? Problems that we have today are not isolated, but they are more interconnected. Leaders will have to see, to identify patterns, not really tasks. They have to understand how decisions resonate across functions, across people, and across technology. The impact of one decision over the whole department, over the whole company, but not for a specific division. Also, another skill that, another leadership skill that would be very important is emotional and AI intelligence. What do I really mean here? It's simple. Basically, as day by day, second by second, as automation rises, what remains is humans, human intelligence. So nowadays, people, the people side of things, people have to show more empathy. They have to trust more. They have to be more purposeful in their judgment. So executives who lead with emotional intelligence and ethical clarity will have to build resilient teams and meaningful cultures. So in short, there are different leadership skills that nowadays people need to learn, to adapt in their day-to-day work routine. But what do I really mean here? Success won't come from knowing more about technology. It will come by when people start changing their mindset, thinking clearly, and decide wisely. That's a little bit what I can share about this topic. Over to you, Jason.
Thank you. Thank you, Nabil. I think it was a great point where you mentioned the judgment part. And that was also covered by Kunal when he did not trust the data fed by the AI machine and had his judgment in place to go through the difficult path. Richie, would you like to add something here?
I will summarize because they covered almost all the possible points that, coming again to the 3 point that I observed is that as a leaders, we should have the comfort with the ambiguity because that is reality, ability to simplify the complexity, and emotional steadiness during the disruption, right? Technical understanding is essential, but leaders do not need to build an AI. They need to challenge it with intelligently. Leaders should stop over relying on reports and start spending more time on judgment, alignment, and most importantly, the narrative. Because the way the world is shaping, the industry is shaping, narrative holds a lot of potential that how we want to drive the entire business source. And I just don't wanted to overwhelm people but wanted to mention that avoid listing too many skills, pick 2 and 3 and go deeper and deeper, because that will enhance your overall leadership, principles, values, and the authenticity. Because we all know that Gen Zs that who stepped into the industry, okay, and millennials like us getting into the leadership role, right? So Gen Zs always prefers to be authentic, right? So it's shifting day by day. Not only AI, there are a lot of parameters that is shaping the new age of leadership. Yes, that's all from my side.
Absolutely. So when you mentioned Gen Z and the millennials, it's a whole lot of it's a different conversation altogether because the mindset is so much different, and we are trying to adapt, or we can say that there are a lot of people like us who are in the millennial stage, or maybe more than that, are trying to adapt, embrace the AI thing. But the Gen Zs have already made their way of living, and it's their part of culture or part of living. So. Yeah, mindset is so much important, and I think we all agree that people first organizations survive and succeed everywhere. I mean, it's about people first. It's about human first. So when we have a collaboration, or we can say when we have intersection with AI and people first organization, what is the mindset shift required? Nabil, would you like to answer that?
Definitely. Once again, being in the management committee. So for me, the mindset shift is actually very simple. Leaders need to move from the mindset of managing people, micromanaging people, to orchestrating collaboration between humans and AI. These are not two different things. These two shouldn't be seen as being competitive, but more into complementing each other.
Right.
Managing people, it's more about controlling tasks, controlling controlling emotions, controlling way of doing things. But leading leading a human and AI collaboration, it's more like, I would say, choreography. Let me explain. I will answer this question step by step. I will engage in this conversation step by step. The first shift, as I said, is switching from control to trust. Instead of asking, how can I make sure work gets done? Successful leaders should ask, what should humans do best? And what should AI do best? That's when leaders will stop micromanaging tasks and start actually designing roles where both of them work hand in hand. The second shift, it's all about it's the swapping from skills management to judgment leadership. One of my colleagues or both of them mentioned about it earlier. AI brings speed. We all know that. It brings scale. But humans will bring judgment, will bring creativity, will bring ethics and empathy. So the leader's job becomes is more centered around human strength, but not and shouldn't be around competing with AI, not competing with technology. People should have the right mindset about, okay, I'm good in what I do, but how can I use AI to improve myself, but not to, there shouldn't be any disturbance between these two. They should complement each other. And finally, successful leaders should be willing to shift from being the boss to being the conductor, to actually being the leader, I would say. The leader doesn't have to be the smartest person in the room anymore. He or she must be able to understand and to design how people, AI, data, and values, how all these can work hand in hand to improve customer satisfaction, to improve the added value of things. So the real change is simple. It's about leaders should no more manage workers. They should lead an ecosystem of intelligence whereby both humans and AI will be working hand in hand. That's what I can share on this topic. Over to you, Jason.
Absolutely. Amazing points there by Nabil. We're coming to the close of the session. The last one question to just remaining. It's a very strategic question indeed. This is such a I would say a brainstorming session. Those who are listening us, those who will later listen to us on our recorded sessions. It's so much there to understand in deep about AI and how leaders must adapt to it. And this particular question, which I'm going to ask the leaders out there, Nabil, Kunal, and Richie. 2 minutes you can take to answer this point. I would give this question to everyone. I'll start with Kunal. If you were advising a board of directors today, I mean, a C-suite level where all the high-profile people are sitting, what is that one leadership capability they should urgently invest in for the AI era? What advice would you give them, which you see that they would make it practical possible? You're on mute, Kunal.
Yeah, okay. So since I'm already in the board, so we are the decision makers. So generally what we talk is that I always tell people around me that first understand what AI is. So my interaction with GPT or Gemini is very, very candid. And I ask very difficult questions and I make sure it gets stuck out there. It has been cases when I said that your answer is not right. This is what is the right answer, and then the answer I get is that yes, you are right. Then I tell him that you are being manipulative. This is not the way an AI should work, and then it gets stuck. Same kind of conversation we have a human being. You will have a good answer. You will have something. You will have pain. You will have pressure. You will have crying. You will have happiness. You find a lot of things going around there. So the idea is that AI should be brought in such a fashion that it works as per your organization. Secondly, you ascertain, you check, you analyze whether AI is needed in everything or not. It is not necessary to push AI in each and every aspect of what you're doing. We have built almost 15 tools in the whole platform, and out of that, only 3 utilizes AI. Other than that, it's unnecessary. And today, it's a buzzword for everybody to say that we're using AI and all. In the end, they're just coding. It's just hard coded thing out there, and they're selling it by the name of AI. So one need to understand that. In fact, whenever we have sessions, whenever we go out and investors they ask us that are you using AI? I said we are, but only at places where they're needed. It is not needed at all the other places. All the other places, humans are well intelligent. They are well in command. They can take care of everything else. Yes, if you need some data, you need somebody to actually analyze everything in a quickest of fashion. Even humans can do that, but it will take time.
Right.
So AI will save the time. It can present it to you, and then it is on you to decide what do I do. For example, a freight market, ship and freight market, it can tell me what size of vessel, what kind of ship to put in which area, and what this market has been doing for last 50 years. But in the end, it is my decision to decide where do I put my vessel. Because if the market collapses the next day, which has happened in 2008, the whole AI will go out of the window. Nothing can ascertain that. Only a stable human mind, one who is into the market, one who is into the business, and somebody who understands how human mind work can ascertain this fact. So it's very, very simple. Uh, Use AI very diligently and train your people, give them hope, give them guidance, and trust them with their instincts so that they can work in tandem with AI rather than working as a computer. What is it?
Okay. Over to you, Nabil. Would you like to add something here?
Definitely. So I think my colleague Richie mentioned about it earlier. The only constant in life is change. But when there is change, especially living in today's world, what comes with change is uncertainty. So for me, that one leadership capability that leaders, senior leaders, top level management should really and urgently invest in is decision making under uncertainty. Today's, as I said earlier, AI gives us more speed, more prediction, more data, but it doesn't remove ambiguity. In fact, it increases it. So the critical leadership capability is not technical expertise, it's the ability to ask the right questions, to challenge the outputs, and make accountable decisions when the answer isn't obvious. So basically, it means that senior leaders who can combine AI insight with human judgments, this is where they will win. And when values and ethics will be mattering more than optimization. In short, in today's world, in today's AI era, competitive advantage won't come from better algorithm alone. It definitely will come from better judgment. I'd like to highlight it. Not only better judgment, especially judgment, critical decisions coming from the top level management. Over to you, Jason.
Amazing. Richie, your one piece of advice to the board today.
Yeah, so I would like to mention that AI literacy without decision literacy is dangerous, right? So board should develop leaders who can challenge AI output, not just accept them. Like the way Kunal mentioned it, I ask question, right? So yes, they should develop leaders who can challenge the AI output. Okay, not blindly accepting, like Nabil mentioned, right? I believe that governance is a leadership skill now in this era.
Right.
We need to have a potential governance follow-up. And as I begin with, like understanding that what are we trying to achieve out of it? What is the whole purpose of doing the task or taking that? And AI literacy is knowing what AI can do, but decision literacy is knowing when to use it and when not to, especially when not to. I'm repeating it, right? Because without it, AI increases risk. Like a lot of companies, I wouldn't like to name it out here, but we all know that a lot of companies who did the mistake in the past of blindly using it, right? So AI becomes the strategic advantage over here, but to conclude this, in the AI era, leadership isn't about being the smartest in the room. It's about creating clarity, like exercising the judgment and keeping humanity at the center of progress. So
Right.
these three statements, I believe, are very essential for any leadership from any industry will, agree with me. Yeah. Over to you,
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah, we all give human emotions the upper hand. We all agree that AI is helping us as a tool. Uh, Before ending the live session today, I would like to ask any of you to give some tools if you are using it in your daily life as being a leader. Would you like to share with our audience today any tool which helps to solve problems apart from ChatGPT? I would say because everyone is using it.
I would like to show you one tool which I use on a regular basis. It's a very, very important tool and it's a big advice to all of you. This is
Okay,
something that will change your life. It is a diary and a pen. Very important tool, trust me, guys. This is something. See, my
absolutely.
notes is filled with the notes. I make this note. I don't use GPT and anything for notes. Why will I need it? It's
Mm,
not needed. This is where your brain starts
absolutely.
working. And this is from where you start making things, you start creating, you start having that vision, you start transforming the thing, and then you can transfer it to the
Mm,
AI to do it. This is from where it starts. What do you guys?
absolutely. Nabil, Richie.
Okay. So on my end, maybe the tool that I use often, like not necessarily I use it, but maybe it depends when I do translation. In the field of global talent acquisition, very often I liaise with candidates who speak different other languages, for example, Spanish and all, or even there are some languages to ensure that to understand that to ensure that my communication with candidates are going well. At times I use Grammarly. It is something that we've heard often, but trust me, it is powerful. Secondly, it's a tool which works very well for me. Be it you're a recruiter, be it you're a business developer, be it you're an entrepreneur, a founder, Calendly is very important, especially when we have to have a meeting. Instead of calling the person, telling him, "Hey, let me check in my agenda, and I will revert to you," and we tend to forgetting. This is this forget this moment of forgetfulness, 2 seconds,
Mm,
will very often I will be contacting the person after a week. Just
mm,
send I register myself, send the link to my candidate to my friend or to that person. He automatically check my agenda and there's the check the slot which is available. And there is something those in the field of global talent acquisition. I use a specific ATS. There are many ATS applicant tracking systems nowadays, but there are new ones. One which is what that I use often is called Manatal, whereby they have
mm.
developed the system with AI integrated. It's very nice. Those who have questions, we can discuss later on. This is what I can share.
Nice, nice. Richie.
For me, I do use a lot of GenAI tool. And yes, like the way my colleague Kunal mentioned about diary and a pen, yes, I use that too. So again, I do a combination of here, I do my critical thinking with Claude a lot, and I use mind map like Miro. There are many actually. And I do a lot of a combination of GenAI tool like Claude plus Mermaid when I wanted to create any kind of a flow chart, organizational or critical thinking flow chart. And I use for research purpose, I use Perplexity because it helps me
Mm,
with the source that where it is coming from. And yes, I spend most of my time whenever I get free time instead of it's not like I am not socializing. I do socialize, but I prefer I was a bookworm, which was a physical book now got transferred into a digital one. So I do a lot of experiment, and yes, rightly mentioned by Nabil, I use Grammarly a lot, and I started using it since I think 2022 when it was recently launched. Yes.
Mm.
So that time Gen AI was not there with Grammarly, but now I have seen the the evolvement of the Grammarly application, that how it's improvising our communication, and also giving us a reality check of our tonality of the email. Right. So yes, it's a kind of a self-reflection. So yes, I do use a lot of tool on day-to-day basis for my critical thinking, research, and also more often neck to neck balancing with the new generation. Yeah.
Amazing. So I also use few tools, not much. I use Notion for task management and Canva for designing. I use Adobe Express, which is an amazing tool. Adobe Firefly as well, amazing tool. Just exploring those as well. So as we speak, there are a lot of tools coming up. We all use tools, even the basics, as Kunal mentioned, the writing part, the journaling part is so much important. That is the core, I would say. That is the base from where all these tools are developed, and then further ideas and are explored. So it was great talking to you guys, Nabil, Kunal, Richie. So much insights on today's particular topic. We started with understanding what is AI. We started with understanding the skill required. We spoke on different aspects of judgment. We spoke on broadening our vision. Human element is so much important. Before winding up the session, 1 minute to each of you to do your concluding remarks. I'll start with Nabil. Just 1 minute each.
Thank you very much. So on my end, it's been a pleasure sharing the panel with my dear colleagues, Kunal and Richie, about this subject, AI, especially about leadership, AI, humans, how can all they be working together. My recommendation to all our audience here is I know that at times we should be saying no to a couple, we should learn how to say no. But as regards to AI, we should be welcoming it, we should be embracing it, but caution should always be there about what are we expecting in terms of content delivery. That's what I can share to as concluding remark.
Kunal,
And thank you, Jason, for the invitation again.
no worries. Thanks.
Thank you, Jason,
Yeah,
for
Kunal.
such a wonderful session, for such good panelists here. And my concluding remarks, I thought I've already given that, is that yes, I agree, be adaptive, transform, change, expand. However, don't leave your roots behind. Stuck to the basic, because that's gonna take you, help you out in the long run. And if you're in a college, if you're in a university, learn skills which are futuristic, not what is happening right now. Because the world is
Yes.
transforming at a very, very fast pace. What skills you are doing right now, I think after 4 years of engineering, you realize it's already outdated. So start learning those skills, which will be utilized in another 5 to 10 years, and that will help you stand firmly on the ground and make a wonderful career. Thank you, guys.
Amazing. Richie.
Yeah. Even same like Kanal, I thought I already given it, but yes, just summarizing it, that the sooner you get comfortable with the ambiguity, the more ability to simplify the complexity, um, the creating the clarity, exercising the judgment with the AI output, and keeping humanity at the center of progress will be my takeaway to everyone, and also for myself, right? And I'm following it very diligently, and trust me, this is helping me a lot. um I am one of the youngest leader in my group, and yes, was one of the youngest one to achieve a global recognition as a Brandon Hall Award. So yes, so yes, the way is that you should think that what is the purpose. If you know the purpose, if you have a lot of reason of your why you wanted to do is, then yes, you will make it sooner. And it's not about the speed, to be honest. It's about the way and the intent And I always say intent without action is useless. Okay. So if you have the intent, and please, spend your time for taking action towards those intent, then yes, like in the Three Idiot movie where Amir Khan was saying that, focus on the knowledge, success will, it's a byproduct of it, right? So I would say that, yes, if you can, hold on to that intent and you put a right action to it, then yes, my dear friend, it's all about mindset. It is possible.
I thought Rishi was
Well-
about to say all is well, all is well.
All is well. Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, guys. On that note, we'll end up today's session. It was great talking to you. Have a great day, have a great evening, and have a great weekend. Thanks a lot.
Have a
Thank you,
good
guys.
day.